in Group A for now. Which is really amazing. And that shows how good this group is altogether. And the race starts. It's already synced to begin with. Sweet. Let's see who wins on mashing. Looks like the bomb does. Both going for PC Potion. For a safe play. Nobody wants to lose all those minutes because you die to the Bulbasaur. Which is quite unlikely that it happens often enough. The bomb a little ahead. Looks like he had better mashing. Saved some frames. Let's see if one of them gets a free shot. And Bulbasaur. And that would mean a chance of like 27,000 to 1. Would be amazing if that happened in a race. Believe, guys. Get some hype for the 20k. Looking good. Both getting tail whip down, get one tackle. Growl fail for the bomb, so he can still go for it. Okay. No, he can't. But the bomb getting quite lucky here. Not a single growl. And he gets Bulba in this shot. Really good fight. And this time is really nice for taking potion. Meanwhile, Kylo got some growls, but also has a nice start time. So Kylo doesn't fall that far behind the bomb. And the bomb gets the level 2 red, which is really convenient for him because he wants to kill one encounter to get level 8 after the Weedle Guide to learn Bubble. And the level 2 Rattata is one of the best encounters you can get because it deals less damage than Pidgey, for example, and is easier to kill. You can even easily two-shot it with a critical. And Kylo getting the level 3 Rattata, which is also a nice encounter. Not as good as the level 2 red. And let's see. He will free shot it as well. If it doesn't miss a tackle here. So both only got one encounter for now, which was a killable encounter as well. But there are still 2 more sections of Route 1 to come. Which basically means one can still get a lead of like 30 more seconds or even more when the other one gets significantly more encounters. But altogether that's still not much, because there's still a big part of a run to be done. And a lot of RNG still happening here. And both players talk to Oak from the side here, because that means the rival of yours has less time on the screen because he walks really slow compared to yourself. So you don't want to talk to Oak from the front, so he gets less walking time on screen. Because else he had to like walk around you and that would lose some time. He would also talk to Oak from behind, which basically means the same time save as talking to him from the side. And now they are really tight right now because the bomb got another encounter. They are like exactly tied. This is awesome. This one encounter for the bomb makes it so close. Super synced. Let's see who's better on shopping menu. And Kylo going for 8 balls. Interesting. So the bomb is a little ahead because he bought less balls. And usually buying 5 balls is totally fine because you need 3 balls. One for Nidoran, which is a Pokemon you can YOLO ball, and it gets in all the time when you don't mess up. Same goes for Paris, and the only Pokemon you can like use up more balls is Pidgey, but you have enough spare balls for that. So it's an interesting choice to go for 8 balls and be super safe on this one. And what both are doing right now is Manip. And for this Manip, they want to get the perfect level 4 Nidoran. And by saving on a certain tile and doing exactly the same inputs all the time, you can get exactly the same Pokemon with the same stats you want. And the bomb got it on a really nice pace. 7-minute Nidoran is really good in a race. And Kylo missed the YOLO ball, and now Nidoran keeps breaking out. So I guess that's why he went for 8 balls, because he didn't feel that confident in his YOLO balls. And to be fair, except well, okay, he got it now. He used up a lot of balls though. And the weird thing about these Nidorans is a level 4 Nidoran is more likely to go in the ball when you don't damage it than it is with 1 tackle. So basically when you want a better catch chance, you have to tackle level 4 Nidorans twice. It's a little weird. When you have a little level 3 Nidoran, like in older days where you didn't manip your Nidoran, you could tackle once and you had a better catch chance. But on level 4 Nidoran, that actually doesn't help you. And there is the first encounter for Kylo. Uses him some extra time. While the bomb fights Weedle. And it looks pretty good for him right now. Kylo going for a few YOLO steps here in Forest. And we take a certain movement in Forest, because every tile with a flower in the lower right corner here isn't a grass tile. Isn't a grass tile. It's not coded as a grass tile, so you can't get an encounter there. Which means we have like around about 0.7 encounters per run while going through Forest, because you have so many tiles you can't get an encounter on when doing this movement. And kind of getting Poison Stinged a lot. Not poisoned yet. Dabomstew didn't get poisoned as well. Pretty nice for him, and Kylo has to use the potion now. A really, really nice pace for the bomb. Kylos isn't bad, but not as awesome. And didn't get poisoned yet. Nice, so both players didn't get poisoned, which is really convenient. And when going for bullet strats, they can sell TM34 now. Kylo decides to pick up a potion. Interesting decision, because usually you can just do early shopping when you want to have more potions for the Brock fight. But this is a small time loss compared to that, because you need to buy potions anyway. He decides to play it safe though, with this one. Meanwhile the bomb healing up his Squirrel. And he has bad special, which means he free shots both the Geodude and the Onyx. Which means he can possibly lose some time to Kylo if he has good special and two shots both Pokemon. Also he has a higher chance of dying. Because when you get one hit in, and then bubble again into a bite, which this can cost you your life on this fight. And he didn't get the level into good special, which is another possibility. So even when you are on bad special for Geodude and two-shot that, you can get into good special that lets you two-shot for Onyx. Anyway, he beat Brock, and it's nearly sub 12. .12:09, a really good time for a race. Kylo gets the first turn bite though, which means he has to tail whip, because bite is a counter move and it only deals damage to you when you deal damage to a Pokemon, so you stall with a tail whip. Or rather two tail whips, because it can load up for 2 turns. And he has bad special too, decides to go for the risk and takes the damage from the tackle, which could have killed him with a crit. But heals up again, and he is done too. And he is like a minute behind the bomb at this point. A minute and some seconds. 8 seconds. A minute and 8 seconds, and the bomb got a really, really nice Brock time. But Kylo still can easily catch up. Mount Moon is another RNG heavy part of a run. Also Route 3 isn't free of RNG. He decides to menu outside the shop, which loses him some time as well, because doing that menu inside the shop is a safer play. Sorry, it isn't a safer play, it is a faster play, because you have less lag inside the shop. And Cool is here. He will join me soon, that's nice. And the bomb is saving for Short Sky, doing it a few tiles before Short Sky, so if he has to reset, he has to walk some extra tiles. Also hi chat, hi P-chat. And the bomb decides to go for the Horn Attack strat. So he doesn't use Leer on Short Sky, which is a little riskier than doing Leo 2 horn attacks, because when you go for 2 horn attacks and a tackle, you have a chance of missing the tackle because it's only a 95% accurate move. So that's a little riskier here. That gives you the possibility of critting horn attack and 2-shotting the Rattata. And he gets another poison sting, so that's really interesting. Really good for him. So he is in red bar right now. And that also means he is at 5 HP, so possibly he could die to a tackle crit from Caterpie. But he is in red bar. That is pretty nice for him. So he can save some extra time on Kylo. Weedle can't deal enough damage with his poison sting, even with a crit, to kill him. But at 4 HP, he is in the risk of death for Caterpie. Let's see if he tries to go for it and go for the non-crit tackle, aka secured red bar. Or if he decides to heal, potion up and play it safe. He decides to YOLO it. Gets the tackle, and it's a non-crit, so he survives on 1 HP. Also didn't get the 1 in 39, so he could possibly get 3 damage from tackle, and there is a chance of 1 in 39 that the tackle deals 1 extra damage, or also this chance is part of every move, every attack move, so also the poison sting or any other move you get, there is a chance of 1 in 39 for 1 extra damage. And if he had gotten that, he would have died as well, without a crit. But it worked out for him, so it wasn't really likely for him to die to a crit there, but it was possible. Decides to potion before the next Caterpie, because that would have definitely killed him with a tackle. And he doesn't go for Mega Punch strats. With a potion he would have been in good HP for it. So he levels up to level 14 and learns Poison Sting, and is like 1 fight ahead of Kylo at this point. With that red bar, I'm pretty sure he saved up more time, so he is like 1 minute 30 ahead of him at this point. Goes for the flyer. And gets it. So the Pidgey still has a chance of hopping out of a ball, because you can't YOLO ball with Pidgey. You can't... you don't manip that, and you don't have YOLO ball frame. That for. So, which is like the only Pokemon that control you on Pokeballs. That's why you still buy 5, although you need only 3 when everything goes well. Also, you would normally buy 4 if you're going for Blizzard strats, because you want that left Pokeball in your inventory to fill the item slot. And Kylo really lucky here. With the damage he deals to the enemy Pokemon. Gets to level 5 Spearow. Let's hope he remembers. He remembers to Poison Sting it, because a level 5 Spearow is a Pokemon that could die from a tackle, so you poison sting it to get it into a good HP for catching it. And there's another Pokemon you don't tackle here, which is level 8 Pidgey. You have to on-attack that one, because tackle doesn't do enough damage to have a convenient catch chance. But every other Spearow or Pidgey here, you usually tackle. And he also didn't poison the Spearow, so no time is to that. And the bomb had a really nice Mount Moon, sub 20 when I remember correctly. And Kylo with 2036 or something, which also is a really good time in a race, so both are on really good pace for this race now. And it's still pretty close. So this part of the game up until the next map for no encounters in Paris is decided by how many encounters you get up until that point. Both going for the post last minute, which means after fighting the bomb is fighting right now, you do another minute to get no encounters up until the next trainer and get Paris right before that. So you want to capture Paris because you need that as a slave for Cat and Dick as well. And basically you still can get encounters up until that point, so that can lose or save you some time depending on how many encounters you get. Still getting some encounters is possibly good for you, because you want to have extra experience for better level ups on the bridge if you want to play it have it a little safer and more convenient there. So killing 2 level 9 Zubits basically secures you a level up before the Mankey bridge, so we can thrash that and don't risk a Karate Chop crit, for example, and can one-shot that with a thrash. Also you get 2 other good level ups with only 1 Zubat also, which is pretty nice, because Bulbasaur could be a possible 3-shot, and the Rattata could be a possible 2-shot. The bomb decides to go for the blue palette. So both are still red, but he just changed his palette. That's what you do for the harder but still more convenient post last minute, because this minute has less IGT 0 frames, which basically means even when doing everything correctly, you can fail the manip with an IGT 0. And this manip Dabomstew is doing has a chance of 59 in 60 to go well, and a chance of 1 in 60 that you fail the manip although you do everything correctly and get an encounter. And Kylo is going for the more easy manip without the palette swap, but also less air presses, so it's easier to execute. But it has a higher chance of failing. If I remember correctly, it was 56 and 60. Not 100% sure. Maybe that also was a little lower even. So you have a higher chance of getting a fail here. And the bomb failed his YOLO ball at this point, so basically you can also YOLO ball with Paris. When doing the correct inputs, it gets in the first ball you throw. But if you fail that perfect inputting, you can miss that. Also, it's possible to get an IGT 0 on that Paris catch as well. So it's either one or the other. And Kylo gets through, no IGT 0 for him. on doing the easier minute. Gets his Paris. Decides to not yellow ball it. And Tom attacks it instead. So it really looks like he isn't feeling confident. He isn't confident in his yellow balls. And it is really nice that he bought 8 balls at this point, because he only has 1 ball left. And which is the ball he needs to fill up his inventory slot. Although it wouldn't be too bad at this point, because he still has the antidote left. So it would have been okay to even use up your last Pokeball here. He decides to talk to Rocket. Interesting. Which basically is faster when you don't get an encounter here. I guess. Not 100% sure. But it also means you have to take more steps, which means you have a higher chance of getting encounters. So it's not worth it in Tunnel. Usually. And I'm pretty sure both players didn't go for encounter kills yet. Didn't pay too much attention to that, to be honest. So if I'm wrong on that, chat can correct me, of course. And we have some red bar hype going on in chat. Not too big of a deal, because even when you have red bar here, you have to center anyway after Mount Moon. Which means you don't have it for too long. And I'm getting a really nice time at Mount Moon. It's sub 27. And this is really nice in a race, which basically means he is on a really good pace. With everything going well from this on, this could really get the best tournament time. And the Bomb is a player who can definitely execute that well, I guess. And also it's very well possible that even if he doesn't get a tournament top time, he can definitely beat his PB with his time. Nothing goes wrong. Kind of getting another encounter there. Didn't kill it as well. So, still a sub 28 Mount Moon, so that is a good time as well. Both players on really nice pace. Really interesting. Still fairly close, although the Bomb is like a minute ahead of Kylo. But both are on really nice pace. And on this rival fight the Bomb is at right now, this Pidgeotto can sand attack you, which is the only thing you don't want to get, because that means you have a lower chance to hit with your moves. 50-50 at that point. And then you basically have to swap out and swap back in. Let your flyer, for example, get killed. And that loses quite some time. But he got lucky, didn't get sand attack. Let's see if Kylo gets through that as well. Looks like the roll wasn't too good, so yeah, he has to free-shot Bulbasaur. And that's what I talked about earlier. He now levels up to level 19, and with Moon experience, at least one Zubat, he could have been level 19 before that Bulbasaur and could have secured the 2-shot without a roll, of course. And now he had a chance of free-shotting, and that's what happened. There's one more level up you get later, or 2 compared to Tuzu that killed. Which is on the red Atar 2 trainers from now. Which could be a 2-shot as well for him. And Kaido lost a significantly higher amount of HP. Well, not really significantly higher. He will level up as well to level 19. At least. And the stream is stuck. So it's not an internet issue. Or blue screen for him. Okay. It's still stuck, I guess. The bomb gets through this fight, and checking Kylo's stream, that is still up, so okay, so we don't know what happened in that fight. But it looks like Kylo got through there quite well. And so both players didn't have extra experience from our moon. Which basically puts them in the same spot, having to horn attack Minky. And learning fresh after that fight. And the bomb gets the red Atar 2-shot as well, gets a critical from him as well. Yeah, that's what can happen. Double inputs to antidote. And losing some time here. Which is pretty bad for him right now. And that's what you get for not having moon experience. So he got punished for not going for it. Getting the 2 possible ranges. Also gets the... doesn't get the Ekans range. Gets wrapped, but it didn't hit. So at least he's lucky on that one. Also didn't get sand attack yet, which is something. And this is the last with the Pidgey on bridge. So the last chance of getting a sand attack. And if he gets through that as well, this is a more or less okay. Well, okay, there's the sand attack. And basically what you want to do here is just go for it. Go for Moose, except you get another sand attack. Yeah, on Rival, when you get sand attack there, you want to swap out because there are so many Pokemon left, and on one of the lasses here, they both only have 2 Pokemon, so you basically want to try to hit through the sand attack, but when you get 2 of them, you still have to swap out, which is pretty bad. And that also means you can lose more Pokemon when you have to switch out on every single sand attack class here. So that's another reason why you try to hit through the lower hit chance on these 2 lasses. And swapping out and swapping back in without letting one of your other Pokemon get killed means you would lose experience, and that's also something you don't want to happen. The bomb on a safe HP, even Karate Chop Kit can't do much to him. And a Karate Chop is a move that has a high chance of getting crit. It crits more often than it does a non-crit. But he's fine. Still not a good bridge for him. He's still on a nice pace. Nonetheless. But kind of caught up a little. Or not even a little. Still has to use his rare candies though. But he definitely saved quite some time on the bomb, getting unlucky on the sand attacks and stuff. And now we have a pretty close race again. Also both are safe for the upcoming fight against the top hiker. The bomb could try to go for a red bar here, but that would mean he had to horn attack with a chop and have to get tackles in. So that's nothing you want to do, because even with getting a red bar here, you have to heal out of it later, and all in all, that's actually not a nice time that you get from that. Also for the risk you take. So he decides to just thrash the chop and goes for the 4-turn thrash here. And Geodude can troll you here, because it has the possibility of using Defense Curl, which basically means you aren't secure of killing it. He decides to swap out, because he doesn't want to hit himself in confusion into a tackle. That could have killed him, I guess. Didn't saw his exact HP. But yeah, he goes for the safer play, swapping out to Squirtle, which loses some time compared to trying to go for hitting through the confusion, which is another 50-50 chance. But it's definitely the safer play, and also he didn't have Mount Moon experience, so he doesn't lose the chance of getting level 30 for Oddish, because he wouldn't have level 30 for Oddish anyway. Talking about the Oddish in Rock Tunnel, that can troll you pretty hard, and that's a Pokemon you have to save for, because it can kill you and troll you and do bad things to you. And Kylo gets decent fight as well there. Now again, it's only a two Pokemon trainer fight behind the bomb. Let's see. His Nidoking shows up on 37-19 against the trainer. And Kylo's Nido shows up at 37-43. So that's pretty nice for him. Only 24 seconds behind. So really close race. Misty can definitely decide the pace for the next upcoming segment. So the Misty fight is another possible fight you can die at. When you heal to 44 HP, you basically have a survival chance of, what was it, 70%? Not 100% sure, but around 70, I guess. So you still have a chance of 30% to die, so that's a fight you want to heal for, and try to go for it. But it is possible to die, so you can lose quite some time there. Both decided to go for the Elixir as well. So there is a high possibility for both of them going for Bliss Threat, or at least late Earthquake. Pretty sure the Bomb will go for Bliss, but we didn't see Kylo before this tournament, in this tournament, and let's see what he's going for. The Bomb decides to go to the center, restoring his PP from his moves, and also being full HP for the upcoming Misty fight, so he should be really safe now. I guess he did that because he didn't have too many potions left. Because usually you just want to potion up for the Misty fight. And started with that. Potioning to the HP I talked about earlier, 44. 45 if you want to go for that one. To be kinda safe. But it looks like he didn't have too many potions left. So he decided to play it safe, go for the center and have more options in the upcoming segments. So if he wants to go for Red Bar later on, okay, and kind of also using up more potions. At this point he has only 3 potions left. Should be fine with 3 potions left, but I guess he could have gone for the center at this point as well. He used like, what, 4 or 5 potions? Good thing he bought extra potions. Anti-Hornet Tech Staryu. I mean, it's not too bad. He could possibly still have tried. No need to reset at this point because he was so high on HP. But he still wants to do it the correct way and thrash it. Interesting decision. But good thing he's safe for this fight, so it's not that big of a time loss. Meanwhile, the bomb gets through the Misty fight really well, does not die, and Kaido loses quite some time on him now because he resetted on this fight. Still at full HP, while the bomb with 43 HP, that is quite nice, because you definitely don't have to heal up at this point, even when you get some quick attacks from the next 2 trainers. You are still pretty safe for the upcoming boat rival with 43, now 46 HP. And you still have a possibility of going for Red Bar if you want to. So this is like really safe, but still Red Bar able HP the bomb has here. I didn't check Kylo's HP at this point, but we will see that on the next fight. How much he has left. Gets the jingle skip from the full restore. So the Dabomstew better than Poker Guy confirmed. Kappa. And Kylo is also at 46. He will level up to 49 after the Drowsy. So both players are on safe HP, which can still possibly get into Red Bar. The bomb decides not to kill this Mankey. Could have possibly been an option, I guess. When he wanted to secure being level 34 with a Bulbasaur after the Oddish if he had to swap out on Fortune Fresh Girl. Don't even know if that's worth it. Maybe that could have been an option. Anyway, let's see if Kylo gets the... he doesn't get the skip. Loses some seconds due to hearing the wonderful full restore secret hidden item jingle. But that's not too big of an issue, because he saves time on the Dabomstew because he doesn't get an encounter. Bomb still pretty high on HP, still has 41. So at this point he will possibly get some damage on the rival fight and most likely will get an HP which has the possibility of going into red bar from a Sonic Boom from Waldorf. Which is the most likely case at this point, but let's see what's happening. Kaido as well on 44 HP still, so basically the same case for him. And the bomb won't do an early menu because he's on high HP and still has enough on attack PP left, so he doesn't have a need to do an early menu teaching Bubble Beam early. Or healing. Meanwhile, Kylo has enough on attacks left too, I guess, but I'm not 100% sure. But since he doesn't get, okay. Anyway, he decides to sell his antidote with TM34. So even with picking up the elixir instead of the ether, it looks like he definitely doesn't want to go for Bliss Rats. Because if that would be the case, he would have gotten a free item slot at this point, which you don't want to have because that means getting a TM from a gym leader later on. But let's see what he's going for. Gonna be interesting. And the bomb's still on 37 HP after arrival, which means even with a Sonic Boom he would be at 17 HP, would level up to 28 as well. So like at 20 HP after Sonic Boom. So he definitely also wants a quick attack from Pikachu. But that Pikachu quick attack could needs to crit if he wants to get a good red bar. So definitely some ifs and whens for his upcoming search fight. Kylo on even higher HP, 39 here. Interesting. So it's very well possible that both won't be able to get a search red bar at this point, even with a Sonic Boom. Oh, okay, never mind. Kylo still gets extra damage, being at 30 HP, which means with a Sonic Boom from Waldorf, he has nice red bar. He has a nice red bar from Search with a level up, and without a quick attack from Pikachu, Kylo would be God, my English, at 13 HP. Which is a safe red bar for the upcoming segment of the Fly Split. With no major risks of deaths. And everything goes well. And the bomb decides to play it safe here. Interesting. Does the save and reset for Ken's Minute. Gets the first Ken. And gets the second Ken. So there's another 59 to 60 chance here of that working. And if it doesn't work with 1 in 60, the second can is in the most top left corner of a gym. So basically you don't even have to resave, you can just reset and go for that can instead. Oh, okay. So at this point, the bomb doesn't get red bar. He is on a pretty convenient HP at this point, so I guess he doesn't want to go for red bar. Playing it safe. If he would have gotten red bar anyway, would have been really worth it for him to keep it. But at this HP, it's a reasonable decision to not try to go for the red bar, because you can definitely play it safe here. Mostly because he is not level 30 for the Oddish and also not going for the red bar gives you better HP for the Render Viper, for example. So playing it safe here and not risking a possible death is a reasonable decision here. And Kylo gets the IGT, but he checks the wrong can. So the thing is what I said earlier, if you get the IGT, you have to check the top, the most top left can, because there is the second. Okay, never mind, he gets it anyway. Pretty solid. Or rather pretty lucky, because after failing that manip, he still gets the cans on second try, as it looked like. Pretty nice. And it looks like I have a co-commentator now.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, you might not be doing this all on your own after all. Still have to open up the stream, so give me a few, but let me hop into the commentator seat real quick.
So guys, say hello to Cruel and Araya.
Hello, I've also arrived.
Ah, looks like we came just in time then.
Yeah, we can do triple commentary now.
Yeah, up until the point I have to leave in like 40 minutes.
Yeah, I guess to explain.
Interesting.
So yeah, I guess to explain real quick, we were kind of stuck on the commentary in that nobody was able to commentate the entire match. So, well, we're just gonna switch commentator halfway through the... It's, not ideal, but I guess it'll work.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, some struggle with time schedules of everyone. There are a lot of races, so sometimes can be hard to schedule a commentator for every race, but we found some kind of solution, so...
Also including real-life activities. So I have to get out early, and Cruel and Araya couldn't make it in time for a race at the start.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's very
So how's this race going so far?
A really nice and interesting race. Both players have been pretty close for the entire time, but kind of just fell a little behind because they had one reset at Misty and one failed cans manip on Search, so that put him back by like over a minute, I guess. He was 24 seconds behind before Misty.
24 seconds.
Really close match for sure. And I mean, we're not done yet because there are still plenty of points coming up real soon. I mean, we've already seen, you know, some weird crits happen or a Gen 1 miss or something like that that can just instantly set you back a lot. So,
exactly, and there is also the question if the bomb would be level 30 for Oddish, for example. It could also change something. I'm not sure how he is on XP for that one. But I guess we will find out soon.
We'll find out soon enough.
Should be fine.
But yeah, as the bomb enters Moon, I guess Kylo is going to be, or at Rock Tunnel, Kylo is going to be making his way to Rock Tunnel. Going to get that for that 4-turn thrash fight. I believe Dabomstew got through that no problem whatsoever.
And he did what I expected earlier, not going for any red bar, because having the HP is really more convenient at this point for him, rather than risking a death while he's ahead of Kylo. So with a death, Kylo would have gotten ahead of him.
And I mean, we've already seen in the race yesterday that, you know, trying to get that and suddenly getting crit and taking way more damage than you intend, it can also set you back a lot. So considering the position that he is in, it's definitely an interesting route choice, but it seems a very sensible play on his end to take it safe, not go for the red bar, just try to keep that steady lead.
Apparently he's not 34 Odyssey, so he needs to save here, since Odyssey is a range and can troll you for a whole lot. Has Sleep Powder, has Stun Spore, and yeah, it can be really annoying for this fight. Let's see how that goes for him.
Yeah, and Stun Spore would mean he would lose half his speed, which would give Oddish another turn, also giving Bulbasaur a turn, and he would have had to use his Soul Restore after that fight to get rid of a Paralyze. And Sleep Powder is even worse, because that can put you to sleep and would mean you would be stuck in Thrash and couldn't even use a potion.
Now, lucky for him, he might not have gotten the kill, but he got absorbed, which is pretty much the best possible outcome in that fight. So
exactly.
You know, he got away with it, didn't get too much trouble, and he can just steadily move on through the rest of the Rock Tunnel.
Yeah, that was definitely an important point to get past. That's really good for him.
At this point, it may it's a little sack for the bomb, because he's quite close to having a red bar, and he's still not 100% safe for the vendor, I guess, if he gets 2 quick attacks.
Yeah, if he gets 2 quick attacks, maybe also a Vine Whip from the Ivysaur.
Yeah, indeed. One would deal 10 damage or 11 damage without a crit.
Yeah, something like that.
Like 18 with a crit.
Kylo, however, setting up for the red bar here on the cube.
For the red bar and gets it
as well.
Alright, so Kylo really wants to make up time here, going for the red bar strats. I like that play.
Considering the position he's in, I mean, he probably is aware he's behind, so he's got to make up time somewhere, and that means he is definitely going to have to go for the red bar strats if he wants to do that. So we see an interesting little difference between the two runners, and we'll see how that works out for Kylo. With him also not being level 30, he'll probably still go for the save, but we'll see what happens during the fight as well.
Yeah, he would live 1 absorb, so that would be the best option if he doesn't get the range. So that's okay for him.
And indeed saves. Really needs to get this fight instantly to make up time though. Cannot afford too much time loss now. Gets the range. That's amazing.
Kylo getting lucky there. That means he is going to be saving a little bit of time on the Dabomstew over the course of Rock Tunnel, assuming he can keep his movement up to standard at least. But knowing Kylo, that shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Definitely, and even like when the bomb doesn't get red bar in the Vendor Tower, he can make up even more time. So he could possibly save nearly a minute if everything goes perfectly well for him, also in the Vendor.
Definitely makes his race more interesting. Seeing Kylo going for some make-up time plays.
Yeah, I mean, he's taking some risky plays, but considering his position, that's gonna give him a chance to pull back a good bit at least. And we'll see if it ends up actually making a big difference, but it might.
And the bomb with a perfect
nice HP. HP of Kylo is really good. It's not too dangerous, but still red bar, so...
Yeah, even with quick attacks, he is alive. He would have to heal before the Lavender Bible, though. Maybe he's still doing it, depending on how much damage he gets up until that fight. If he's going for Bliss or late Earthquake strats, he has to Fresh for Kadabra and Ivysaur, so he could possibly get some damage there, which means he may save for that fight. Not 100% sure though. Gets one quick attack.
The bomb doing some shopping, gets blocked by the girl.
The block, oh no.
He didn't read that one when walking into the room.
Indeed,
Normally
I don't
just
know
check.
if that's the first one. Maybe that's the first block of a tournament. Didn't saw one up until now.
Yeah, normally you just check the position of the girl when you walk in and then decide how you're gonna walk back, but the bomb gets blocked anyways.
Yeah, he got very unlucky there, but
Oh, Kylo going for the heal.
Goes for the heal. At this point, really interesting because you have to Bubble Beam the Growlithe. That's 100% to kill, and refreshing the upcoming Vulpix is also 100%. So the only thing you can get is a quick attack from Vulpix, and that couldn't have killed him.
yeah, but what I suspect here is that Kylo might have just been a little unsure of the exact ranges, and figured, you know, it might be a safer play to just go for the potion instead of risking a quick attack crit. I suspect the quick attack crit was on his mind there, thinking that, you know, if he would actually have gotten the crit, it might have still killed him, and that would set him back a lot. And considering there aren't that many fights left that you can do in Red Bar to begin with, I mean, saving would probably not help him much either, because at that point you'd still lose way more time than you would by just potioning.
Yeah, on the other hand, I question then if it would have been worth to set up the red bar, since it costs some time to set it up as well, and it causes you to have to save for Oddish Girl, for example. So in this case, yeah, in this position, I think he might as well have wanted to try and save some more time.
Yeah, probably. I don't know if it was the correct play for Kylo here. I definitely think it wasn't, but I think that is what might have been on his mind as he made that play.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So it's definitely a reasonable decision if you aren't sure about the ranges from quick attack there. So what you wanted to get was definitely a non-quick attack from Pidgey, then it would have been fine anyway. And now I'm interested in his shopping. How many X items will he buy, and will he go for the... goes for the freshwater. Goes for the soda, I mean.
Yeah, Kylo definitely taking the Ice Beam over Blizzard here.
Okay, so he still has a chance of going for a late Earthquake, but he won't do Blizzard strats at this point.
I mean, considering Kylo's background, it's sensible he wouldn't. At least not for the Blizzard strat. He is one of the older runners in the tournament. He's been running this since way back in the day. So I figured Kylo would probably end up going for the Ice Beam strat here. Whether he does late Earthquake, we'll see, but this definitely seems the play that I kind of suspected Kylo would make in this situation.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure he prepared himself with the new guide Exarion brought up lately, and that suggests going for late Earthquake, but not Blizzard strats. So if he's doing that, then he definitely wants to set that up. Also, gets on the spike quite late, so losing some time there.
Meanwhile, the bomb is pretty safe to tank a Nightshade here in case he misses Rock Slide. There's a good amount of HP going into this Glichless. See how that goes for him, and if he's not daily leave.
Let's see.
It looks like the bomb is over 2 minutes ahead now, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a couple smaller mistakes from Kylo. All in all, he's been playing pretty well, I feel like. Definitely no major mistakes, but it's definitely, like, you can definitely see that Dabomstew is a little bit more experienced in that regard than Kylo is in this match.
Yeah, and also considering that Kylo had 2 extra resets on Surge and Misty, he has had a pretty nice flight split. Anyway, so it's not over yet.
It's definitely not over, and like 2 minutes can still easily be changed. Like one mistake on either end, or one really unfortunate Gen 1 miss or a death somewhere could easily change the outcome of the match, no problem. Kylo not getting a quick attack or something from the Pidgeotto. Might have been hoping for that to try and get that red bar back on.
Also already has taught Hornbill.
Yeah, so it's definitely on the older strats. It's not that much slower, but a little bit.
Yeah, the oldest strats with skipping candies but not going for late Earthquake or Bliss strats lose about 20 seconds to the Blizzard strats, when I remember correctly. It's
yeah, exactly.
a little more when he gets the candies. Let's see if he does that, but we will notice only in like 30 minutes. Well, a little less than 30 minutes.
And Dabon definitely on the new stretch just teaches Horn Drill after the Glichless.
I think it's cool that we are going to be seeing 2 runners that are both incredibly skilled runners, to see them take a completely different route in terms of their moveset. One taking the more classic route, and one taking the newer route.
Yeah, indeed. Quite interesting. And let's see if Kylo hits his rock slides. To be fair, he is safe for a Nightshade. Even if he misses a rock slide, the Nightshade dealing 23 damage, aka the level the Ghastly is at, couldn't kill him.
Yeah, he could tank 1 hit, but
Yes.
gets through pretty easily.
And with the upcoming heal pad, that shouldn't be an issue.
Ooh, Kylo almost forgetting that elixir there. Does remember in time, luckily, so can quickly go back to get that.
Yeah, only 1 extra step for him.
So Dabom will be moving to Silphco after this tower, while Kylo will take a different route to Safari Zone first.
So at this point, both routes divide for a short time, but on the Koga split we will see both being on the same route again. So for a few minutes we won't be able to tell how close it is exactly, most likely, because the routes are separated.
It's still cool though to see them diverge and then, you know, get back together by the time they get to Koga. It does add a nice little touch to the race, I feel like.
Yeah, I guess so. Difference is nice.
There we go, Dabomstew getting through all of his rockets, gonna get that Poke Flute, and that's when he is going to, and that's the point where both of the routes are going to be diverging. Kylo, in the meantime, getting to the Pokédoll fight, and, well, he's 3 trainers behind, basically. They were almost on the same floor at the same time. Dabomstew just getting out as Kylo gets on the floor, so I mean the difference really isn't that big, all things considered here.
Yeah, and we can try to calculate the difference. So the bomb gets a 1-10-10 flute, and let's see what Kylo gets here.
Meanwhile, the bomb setting his war point that he needs later. Needs to get back to this point. Would not be necessary for health or PP, actually, but the war point is the most important thing there.
Yeah, it helps a lot. Also, restoring some PP on Hornbill is actually a little convenient here.
Yeah.
Most of all, if you want to go for drilling the Arbok.
Yeah, exactly.
But you heal there anyway, so no issue. And let's see if he is going to drill or thrash the Arbok. Usually thrashing is, in general, maybe a little slower, but definitely the safer play because you don't have to fear the paralyze. Which would mean you couldn't keep going on Hornbill because you were slower than Arbok, but thrashing is fine because you would continue the thrash anyway. So that's like the safer play in a race, definitely.
Let's hope the bomb doesn't get glare.
It looks like he did decide to go for the thrash strats there. Gets a bite, so he's going to be completely fine on this one.
Gets a good roll, so can two-shot it.
Yeah, that's really nice. Also, he got some damage from the bite, so that's also helpful for him because you want to get some damage on these fights on Sylph, because you want to be on an HP that lets you get the death against the Wheezing of Koga. And getting damage here is really helpful with that, because you don't have to stall on the Hypno later on.
The death is necessary because the rest of the run has to be done in red bar to save huge amounts of time.
Yeah, like about 2 minutes or more even.
So here we see Kylo getting his Poke Flute at about the 113 mark. So they're about 3 minutes apart at this point.
Yeah, a little less than 3 minutes. So that's pretty cool because that still means there's still the chance for Kylo to catch up. To be fair, if the bomb doesn't get too much damage and has to start on Hypno, doesn't get it first try and maybe gets a death, Kylo would definitely be able to tie him, I guess.
Yeah, we definitely will need to either see a mistake or some really unfortunate luck for Dabomstew for Kylo to have a good shot at this still, but I mean, it is Pokemon and the unfortunate things can happen.
Definitely.
The bomb will need a little bit more damage before entering Koga fight. Let's see how lucky he will get in the upcoming fights.
Yeah, on 91 HP, want to have Q1 damage. And therefore elixering not before that fight, but on that fight is helpful.
Yeah, giving the Cubone an extra chance to do some damage.
So this is where we see that divergence we mentioned. Kylo now going towards Fuchsia City and doing the Safari Zone, not yet having done Silphco, whereas Dabomstew is going to be going there after he gets done with Silphco.
Also didn't go for the side candy. He's Batman. And what we see now is he didn't go for PP up as well, so that means he will go for the mansion candies as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of to be expected. If you follow the older route with the stats of the Nidoran that you currently have, this is what the generally advised route would be: skipping that PP up and just taking it like this.
Yeah, maybe he is using the Red Helper, and I guess that's what Red Helper suggests. What he's doing right now.
That is the Red Helper suggestion, correct. So if he would be taking the route based off of that, which, like I said, considering he's an older runner that came back, I believe because of the tournament, it is the logical play for him. It is a little bit slower than taking the late Earthquake Blizzard kind of route, but it is the route that you would expect on a runner like him.
Yeah, it's also slower than PP up, in my opinion. But let's see how it goes for him.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, when you're not going for Blizzard strats, not taking the candies adds a minor risk of dying on Erika and a higher chance of a death on Black Belt.
Hello, going for a second Nidoran.
Forgot to use the Super Repel here.
Yeah, I didn't want to comment on it last time, but considering it's the second time that happened now, it's definitely definitely something that's going on right now. Kylo really getting a little lost in that menu, probably just thrown off by the fact that he did just go for, or he did just get a second additional encounter because of this.
Yeah, definitely. So maybe it's possible he just gets a little nervous, considering he's a little behind and
he wants to act
it's his first tourney match. So that's definitely a possibility. And
not to mention, the bracket he is in is like the hardest possible bracket that he could ever ended up in.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, you know, if he wants to even have a remote chance of moving on to the next round, it's definitely one of those things where he is going to need every single win, and that adds to the nerves. So I'd imagine that in the position that he's in, that just comes into play as well, which is, you know, it's a very normal thing to happen.
Yeah, of course. And
so we see them quickly high-fiving each other here in Celadon, and then go opposite routes, with Dabomstew heading in the direction of the Safari Zone, whereas Kylo is now going to make his way to Silphco.
And as we saw Kylo with some time lost to menus earlier, Dabomstew also lost quite some time on his menu here. So keeping up the pace both are at, and Kylo still keeping the distance as small as he can.
Yeah, Kylo definitely going for the older route here, getting Earthquake early.
Also not going for side candy.
Can you stop, Flitz?
Side candy is so cool.
At least you and Hassel did it.
Yeah, that's something, right?
Yeah, we see Dabomstew picking up the PP up that we saw Kylo skip earlier. Kylo taking the Horn Drill strats on the Machoke. Another little difference you can go for. You can go for that Horn Drill, or you could go for the Thrash there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he could have done that to get some more damage in, which he also needs for the Weezing later. But let's see if he can get damaged by Rifle, for example.
Dabomstew cutting his way through the grasses and now entering Safari Zone as well. As Kylo tries to teach Fly again, probably in an attempt to teach Surf.
Swaps up TMs so he doesn't have to scroll all the way down. Smart move.
Yeah, needs to learn Earthquake here for Koga's gym.
And Kylo's still on full HP, so he didn't get damaged by the choke. Definitely wants to get some damage from the rival, because he also needs to get the death to Weezing, and still has not gotten any damage, so this could be hard. And he maybe has to stall on Hypno. The bomb getting HM3, so he will just now move on to Koga.
Yep.
And I don't remember exactly, but was his HP fine for the Weezing?
I think he needs a little more damage. I think he was around 90.
Ah, okay.
But not entirely sure. One quick attack for Kylo. That's good. It's a little bit more damage.
Yeah, but still all. Also considering that he can't go for damage on the next rocket.
98.
He will most likely actually have to stall on Hypno. 98
Okay.
for the bomb, so he has to stall it as
Yeah.
well.
He needs to.
Or he gets lucky and gets a confusion on the first turn, which would be really nice for him. He would even live crit from confusion with this HP. So that's pretty nice, I guess. But the thing is, with confusion crit, he also would be in red bar, which would save up some extra time. Also considering he's earthquaking on Koga, so the coughing couldn't kill him with a tackle when he's going for red bar.
Yeah, and that is something that Kylo is gonna have to watch out for, because Kylo will probably go for the horn drill strat on the on Koga. So we might be seeing another difference in that, and that does mean that Kylo might take some damage from the coughing as well as he goes into that fight. So he doesn't want to be too low either.
Yeah, definitely.
First he gets switched out.
He decides to earthquake first. Interesting. Gets a crit.
Crit.
So
Yeah, so that's why you don't want to earthquake at the first turn, because when you, for example, thunderbolt on first turn, you can even get a crit and Hypno doesn't die.
Bro, is he paralyzed? So he needs to stall longer. He needs to stall longer.
That's a Psychic.
and
And
he
Psychic
gets
is bad. So Psychic can kill you with a crit. Gets lucky, gets no crit. Worked out for him.
Yeah, has the right amount of HP now.
still a dangerous play there on Dabomstew's side. A very sensible play, but a dangerous one nonetheless.
Yeah, I guess he went for the earthquake because he swapped he swapped Hypno with his Drowsy. So he still had to kill the Drowsy after killing the Hypno, which is
That
quite
was
unfortunate.
actually pretty risky to use Thunderbolts there. If the second Thunderbolt crit, he would not have the right HP, giving
Yeah.
Kylo another chance to come back. That case.
Yeah, so there was a chance for Kylo to come back with a little worse luck for the bomb. But at this point, the bomb has a nice HP for going for the death on Weezing. But Kylo still didn't get enough damage from Nidorino, so he has to stall as well. Let's see if he gets through there better.
Oh.
And looking at the clock, I guess I can head off a little earlier because you two can definitely do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Good stuff on the start of the commentary, Flutz, and I guess I'll see you tonight for our match.
Yeah, definitely. Really looking forward to it. That will be fun.
And for those in the chat here, I mean, Flutz will be back tonight because he's going to be changing from the commentator seat to the runner seat. So, you know, if you haven't followed the guy already, make sure to do so because he will be involved in this tourney quite a bit more after this point.
Maybe, let's see. There's still the definite possibility for every one of us three, including you and Hassel, of going 2 wins and 1 loss. So that's definitely a possibility.
I do believe a triple tie might still be possible if I manage to beat you tonight. Granted, I do not expect this to happen, but who knows? It's not entirely out of the question.
It is Pokemon Red. Let's see what's going on. Alright, yeah, I will hop out now. Have fun on the commentary, and let's see how the bomb and kind of finish with.
And thank you for starting out the commentary.
No problem. See ya.
See ya.
So yeah, with that, I quickly do want to point out one little thing we kind of overlooked earlier on the Dabomstew side. We saw Dabomstew going for a Horn Drill on the Weezing. Now, I do believe that had a chance to get the 30% hit chance anyway, which could have potentially put Dabomstew in a very bad position as well.
Yeah, he used Bubble Beams to stall on the Weezing.
First turn he did a Horn Drill though. He did 1 Horn Drill and then went for the Bubble Beams.
Oh, that's risky.
Now,
granted, for him, luckily.
Yeah, granted he only needs 5 at this point, so he could easily go for it, and the PP management doesn't cause any problems. But I do believe that does add the 30% chance that he would have killed it instead of actually gotten the self-destruct he wanted.
Let's see if Kylo is able to stall. He does not go for the stall. He does not care about the death to Weezing. So we'll lose some time on that unless Weezing X attacks into self-destruct or crits the self-destruct. So really interesting on not stalling on the Hypno. Hope it will work out for him.
I mean, he could still end up getting an axe attack first, and it would be completely fine in that regard.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll see what happens there.
Hopefully for him it will work out. That's an extra level.
They're stalling with a T-Bolt. Gets the self-destruct right away. He might still get crit though.
Needs to crit.
Does not get the crit, but is left on 3 HP, so in that, he's not on a terrible amount of health.
What I assume here is that he has the Nidoran with a slightly lower defense, so he knew that his HP would be good enough to go for this, because self-destruct does a little bit more damage on this Nidoking than on the one with the stronger defense, so that could be the case. Or just a really high roll, yeah, I have no idea. He was also one higher level, so I just assume it's the Nidoran with lower defense. 11 defense, yeah.
Kylo quickly showing off his trainer card for another time. Just showing us all of those beautiful badges that he's got so far. Now let's see how Erica is going to go for the Dabomstew. He is going to have to Blizzard this, which means there is a chance that he could potentially miss on a bad turn as well. That would give Kylo a chance to catch up a little again.
Yeah, he will probably use Earthquakes on the first and the last poke to be safe, but needs to Blizzard the Tangela. Let's see. Indeed, Earthquake's the first one.
Gets the Blizzard off, so no big deal there. Looks like he's going to be in a fine position still. I mean, it is a bit of a risk, because I do believe the Tangela has options like Wrap and the likes, which at that point, which is lose you a lot of time.
Yeah, I think it can even kill you with 5 turn or something.
But he did get away with it, so he's going to be moving on to Blaine as Kylo finishes up the mansion real quick. Now we'll probably see Kylo pick up those 2 additional candies. Now considering he candied earlier with the 3 HP he had left, I do believe he'll basically be on the point where he'll lose Red Bar on Lorelei, assuming he doesn't get any more damage. So he'll still have Red Bar for the majority of the part that you'd really wanted.
Yeah. Didn't lose out too much on not dying there. Indeed gets the mansion candies. The bomb, meanwhile, really good in this quiz so far.
Yeah, he's only got 1 question left, and that is the hardest question out there. The Tombstoner TM.
That's so tempting to press yes.
I mean, TM28, it's gotta be Tombstoner, right? What else could it potentially be? Both of them now on that gym sequence. Kylo going for Erica as Dabomstew is going for Blaine. So they'll both be doing several of these gyms in quick succession and pretty much finish everything else up right now.
Yeah, Kylo only 1 gym behind right now. Will not have to worry about missing Blizzards, because he has Ice Beam.
Yeah, so that effectively reduces his missed chances down to the regular 1 in 250, 1 in 255, 256, or whichever it is. So the chances for him to miss are basically 0 at this point. Although we have seen races where, you know, we had multiple of those misses anyway.
Yeah, it can always happen, even though it's really unlikely. The bomb heading off to Sabrina. We saw a Gen 1 miss on Sabrina last week. I think the only one so far.
On one of the gym leaders, you mean?
Yeah, Paper Guy missed on Sabrina.
Ah.
And it killed his run.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a few Gen 1 misses in general in this tournament. Some of them having caused some unfortunate deaths as well, so it's, you never know what might happen.
Never safe in red.
Yeah, let's just hope that neither of them will have to deal with that. So let's see if Kylo is as good at this quiz as Dabomstew is. I mean, it is a hard quiz right here, so see if he can get all of these questions correctly. Dabomstew, meanwhile, having finished up his fight with Sabrina, that means he's gonna come up on another potential run killer here. The Machoke fight, that could potentially be an issue here. See what happens.
Yeah, needs to avoid the Karate Chop crit. Only one more gym to go for the bomb.
Here we go, Dabomstew heading into Giovanni's gym, the last gym of the run. We'll probably see him save in a little bit considering his position. He knows he's ahead, he knows he's in a pretty good position in general. I think we'll definitely see him take all the necessary safeties if he feels he needs it. Going for the Earthquake there on the Rhyhorn, because, you know, the Blizzard not being 100% accurate, you want to avoid having to use that as much as possible. Does take that safety save, and we'll see Kylo starting off his fight against Blaine. Now this is another difference between the two, Dabomstew having gone for Horn Drills on Blaine, where Kylo is going to be using Earthquake instead. This is another little difference between the two runners, Kylo taking the more classic route, whereas Dabom is taking the newer version of the route.
Okay, I'm not sure if that was a Gen 1 miss low kick, or that low kick just has no 100% accuracy.
I believe it's not 100%, but he definitely he definitely gets lucky getting out of that, no problem.
Yeah.
That puts Dabomstew in a pretty good position here. I mean, he's it's down to Giovanni himself, and then it's on to the E4. We'll still have to use a few blizzards, so it's not done yet, but he definitely has a good position as it is.
Yeah, didn't forget to elixir. That's really good. Kylo only 2 gyms left as well. Trying to catch up.
I mean, throughout this gym sequence, we've seen Kylo play this pretty well. He's definitely got his head in the game. He knows what he's doing. He knows where he has to go. Can't seem to make up a whole lot of time on the Dabomstew, but that's really in big part just because both of these runners are just as good as they are. So this is another fight where we'll see a big difference. The Giovanni fight for the Dabomstew is going to be involving a lot more Earthquake, whereas when Kylo does it, we'll be seeing a lot more Ice Beams instead. The Dabomstew wanting to avoid the potential misses of the blizzards, so goes for Earthquake a lot more. Whereas Kylo can save up his Earthquakes and just go for Ice Beam, which kills most of this anyway. He misses a Blizzard there on the ride-on.
Let's see if he gets the range. Yeah, gets the range. Really good. But Rhydon cannot kill, he will always use Fissure because of the AI.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still, you know, even though he got the miss, got a guard spec, so not a big deal. Kylo needing a crit to one-shot him anyway, so it won't lose him a lot of time either, since he did end up getting the range.
Also 1 gym left for Kylovich now.
Dabomstew, meanwhile, getting to the last rival fight before heading into the victory road. It's about time for him to move on to victory road and get to that Elite Four. Now, all things considered, for the bomb, this should be an easy fight. I mean, with the Pidgeot not being able to do anything, being guaranteed to hit this Blizzards because of the X accuracy.
Gets your range, really good. Not guaranteed to one shot. Now Kylo hopes he doesn't get Karate Chop crit here. That's why he saves beforehand.
Yeah, we'll see how Kylo is going to be playing this fight. He might opt for a very different strategy here than the Dabomstew did. Goes for Earthquaking instead of using that axe accuracy. Gets the first Machoke down, gets a critical there, which is kind of nice because it is a range, so at least that way you're guaranteed to hit it. Gets the last Machoke. Gets the last Machoke as well, so very smooth fight from Kylo. Means it's time for him to head towards that gym gym leader as well, while the Dabomstew makes his way towards the victory road.
So indeed, a little bit of a different fight for Kylo here. Does not have to Earthquake the first pokes. Can use Ice Beam there, it's a little bit faster.
Did Kylo just miss a range or something there?
Oh,
or he was supposed to Earthquake that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was supposed to Earthquake that.
Ooh, that...
The best thing he can do is just go back to his save, because he will not be red bar anymore. So he actually just needs to reset here. It's the best thing you can do. He has a save before Black Bell.
That is a... So, Kylo memeing it up a bit from the looks of it.
Alright.
That is probably it for Kylo's end of this. He is going to be able to, or he's going to try to pull back in this, but he'll have lost red bar. He'll not be in a fantastic position at this point to still try and catch up. And with the Dabomstew being this far into the run, there isn't a lot of chances we're going to be seeing enough problems for the Dabomstew to give Kylo a good shot of catching up.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really bad position for Kylo now. Entirely loses his red bar as well.
Granted, Kylo would have only had it for 2 more fights after this, because he would lose it on Lorelei already anyway. So in that regard, he doesn't lose too much on it, but it's still going to set him back a good bit. So Dabomstew making his way through Victory Road, just pushing the boulders. In and of itself, Victory Road is a pretty easy place, although it can be very easy to hit a trainer here and there. They're all like one tile away from you, so if you make a misstep, it can potentially be a very big issue as well. We've already seen trainers be hit in this place in this tournament, so...
This time Kylo doesn't make the mistake and just earthquakes the Nidoking.
So that means Kylo is done with this fight as well. The one advantage here, though, is he isn't going to be losing any X items and the likes because of this. So at least his item count is still going to be fine. He will be way off of red bar, but he should be able to make it work. And he can opt to just go for the... or just use his Nidoking on Lorelei, which might save him a turn there, because his health is good enough to tank an Aurora Beam as long as it doesn't crit.
Yeah, and as long as he doesn't get a Speedfall. Speedfall would also cause Horn Drill to not connect.
That is true, there is still that chance as well. But all in all, it is a play he might make, all things considered, just going with the risky play. I mean, there is a few things that can go wrong on that fight, but...
Decides to save for this fight.
Yeah, he might not be sure on his item count right now, or his PP count, or just generally considering, okay, what do I still have to do, and what could potentially go wrong. I mean, he knows he's, especially with that death, he probably knows he's pretty much already done with this race, and that Dabomstew pretty much has this one in the pocket. So he's just playing it safe to not make it take any longer than it needs to be.
Still has that red bar, of course. Cannot use the bike inside a battle. Yeah, easy fight for him.
Chat pointing out real quick that it's Aurora Beam. Like the real risk there is the freeze, not so much the Speedfall.
Yeah.
Because that's the Bubble Beam from yellow.
Yeah, the Bubble Beam, yeah.
So the Dabomstew being in red bar for the Jinx, gonna save him a good bit of time on that. So I guess not having to hear... It doesn't... I thought it was freeze. Doesn't Aurora Beam... Okay, well I guess I was wrong. My apologies.
Yeah, the only thing he has to worry about is Bubble Beam Speedfall.
Which in this case doesn't happen. Because it's not yellow, so...
Oh yeah, of course.
Basically the only thing you'd have to worry about is an Aurora Beam crit in that case.
Oh yeah, I was confused with yellow.
So the Dabomstew keeping a nice red bar there for the Bruno fight. Getting the slam, but not having gotten the critical. At least I believe it was a slam right there. That just leaves 3 more fights for the Dabomstew. And Kylo is still having to do all of Victory Road, as well as the rest of the Elite Four. Dabomstew taking the heal, just playing it safe on Agatha. You really do not want to be at low health for that one. Does not take the save, or does not decide to save, however, so is just going to go for it.
Yeah, that's like a 95% to win this fight right now. Still small chance of this going wrong.
Kylo wanting to play it safe, getting that max ether.
He maybe missed an elixir or something somewhere.
He might also...
I'm getting confused.
Gets through the confusion, but this is not done. right now. Let's see what happens in the rest of that fight. I suspect that Kylo might just be a little worried that... Oh, breaks out of the confusion immediately, actually. That Kylo is a little worried about his PP management, having taken the death. I mean, he is going to be fine, I believe. I don't think that should matter anywhere, because it basically restored all of his PP. But he might just be worried about that a little bit.
I believe the bomb used X special, meaning that Gengar could still hit him.
Kylo getting a swag boulder, by the way, is definitely trying to give us a bit of a show as he gets through it. He's got 2 of them already.
Okay, the bomb breaking out of confusion.
There's number 3.
A lot of swag builders coming out. Oh, goes up too soon. Yeah, for the bomb this should be done now. If he just saves from both fights, there's not too much that can go wrong for him now.
Yeah, and we'll probably see him take the save here. I mean, Lance is definitely one of those fights where you really don't want to take that risk. Elixir's up, take the save, so that means that the Dabomstew is pretty much done at this point.
Oh, Kylo has an optional.
An extra trainer. That's what I mean with one misstep can just set you back a lot, because there are a lot of trainers that are very easy to hit. And it's a big one as well. Let's see if he can get through it.
Kylo really busy.
Yeah, Kylo, fortunately enough, being on full health, so he won't have to worry about it too much, but it will set him back a good bit time-wise, at least.
Yeah. He cares more about swag builders, I guess.
So the Dabomstew, not having gotten killed by the Gyarados, is pretty much done at this point. Has to still get through the rival fight, but all in all, that fight is not too difficult to go through.
Blizzard missed for the bomb.
Yeah, luckily these Dragonairs can't really kill you because of their AI. They'll always be using agility.
Okay, hits the most important Blizzard.
Pushing the boulder against the wall. He's definitely struggling a bit with his victory road.
Yeah.
Still trying to go for some swag boulders though, and gets a few of them off as well. Dabomstew basically only having that final fight left, going into the champion right now. See what happens here.
Wing attack. Does not crit. Gets another one. That means he needs to go back.
That is a painful risk he took there. I mean, he probably knew he was going to be taking a risk going for not healing on the second one. Wanted to get red bar for that champion fight, did not get it, but will because of that have to do Lance all over again because he didn't save between the two. Massive risk he took there, because if he just went for a full restore, the chances of him dying would have been very, very low at that point.
Yeah, he just wanted to go for a good time, I guess, because it would mean he would have had full red bar for the whole fight, saving a lot of time. And probably knowing he already has a high chance on... Oh, dies again.
Ooh, and the crit on the Gyarados.
Yeah. But still has a lot of time to spare. Will not be a very good time anymore, though.
Yeah, I mean, he could have had it, but taking a risk and it really not paying off, and that's gonna give Kylo some time. Not enough for him to catch up, but definitely a little bit of his time back. So let's see if Kylo decides to deposit the Sparrow here.
Okay, so this match would actually have been pretty close if Kylo didn't die to Giovanni. But yeah, the bomb getting through Lens now in the third try.
See if he can manage to get through the Dragonite later as well. Looked like he already missed a Blizzard. Well, let's see what happens.
Okay, decides to switch to Sparrow anyways.
So yeah, Kylo taking it safe on the Dugong there, not risking a critical.
Okay, the bomb hitting the Blizzard.
Let's see if because of that he does decide to save before the rival this time. Or whether he's going to play it a little bit safer on that one. We'll see soon enough. Yeah, it looks like he is taking the safety save this time around.
Yeah, good decision, since he will not be able to get a better time than his last time anymore, so he will probably just go for the security now.
And Kylo, in the meantime, finishing up Lorelei, is going to be moving on to Bruno real soon.
Gets mirror move. And is now guaranteed the winner.
That is a GG for Dabomstew, and that is going to be his first win, I believe, of this tournament. After having 2 matches played, the first one having been a loss against Deacon. But that does put him in a decent position, because he knows probably that if he can manage to get past Gunner, and that is not an easy match to play, but if he can get past Gunner, he might very well still have a good shot at this.
Yeah, it's possible. We saw Deacon being able to beat Gunner as well, so who knows?
That is the last of the Pokemon for Dabomstew down, and that means that is a GG for the match between Dabomstew and Kylovic. Dabomstew winning his first match of the tournament and beating Kylovic as his second match of this group. We're going to quickly see if we can get him in here, and then, well, as soon as this is done, that means, and we'll just quickly see the end of Kylo's match.
Yeah, 3 more trainers to go for him. Gets Hypnosis to get stalled a bit longer. And Confuse Ray. Already pretty annoying fight for him. But hits through the first time.
So yeah, 1:53 in-game time for Dabomstew. Solid time all in all. Finishing
that's up to RTA as well.
Definitely a very solid time on Dabomstew's end. 1:59.46 on his own timer. We're gonna check what the 1:59.48 SRL time as his final time of this this match. Very solid time for Dabomstew and a big GG to him. We'll be getting in here pretty soon for some quick afterthoughts. Kylo getting unlucky on Agatha, it seems like, getting confused, hits himself in the confusion and gets the Gengar trying to go for a toxic. Will not work, but beating through on the second round anyway.
Yeah, he has also really good HP now. Would get red bar from Lance if he doesn't get the crit. So let's see how that works out.
Kylo deciding to heal anyway, meaning he won't be in red bar for the fight after all.
That's unfortunate.
Probably just unsure about the amount of health he needs and just deciding to play it safe on this one.
Yeah.
Let's see what Lance is going to do for Kylo. Hydro Pump does not get the critical, which means that Kylo is pretty much in a safe position here as well. Still does need to get through the rival, but considering he cannot miss his ice beams, except for like the Gen 1 miss, in a much better position here than Dabomstew was with having to use Blizzard.
Hey, okay, he does not have an X speed for champ, but maybe with this stretch he doesn't need to. I'm not familiar
with an X special it works as well.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna move to Dabomstew in here. Looks like he's ready for a quick little interview. Hello, Dabomstew.
Hello. Interesting
Congrats.
at the end. Yeah.
Congrats on your first win of the tournament.
Yeah, the win's nice. Nothing too much else that was remarkable about that run.
Unlucky the champ red bar didn't work out, that champ had to troll you in the end anyways.
I mean, yeah, obviously, like, after Kylovich died to Nidoking, I decided to turn up the risk meter a bit and at least go for a tournament PB. And I guess a PB in general, but...
Yeah, it was definitely a nice play there to try and get a good time.
I mean,
But,
obviously, since chat pointed out that my time doesn't really matter if the other races go as expected and it's just me versus Gunner for one place, so in that stage it's only seeding, but...
Yeah, and how did you feel about the run overall? Because Crew and I missed the first part. Flitz was casting the first part, so we don't know what happened before Vermilion City, so...
Yeah, there was some slop there, like missing the Paris YOLO ball was not that awful, but I did have to throw all my balls at it to get it, so it could have been a lot worse.
I do believe we saw a blue palette there during the moon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's a
Palette manip I'm not 100% consistent at yet, but I was willing to try it in my position in the race and just in general. Like, if you do fail it, then there are backups and stuff, so it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you have the second Paris manip as well, in case it doesn't work out.
Yeah, obviously nailed it first try that time, but we'll have to see what happens against Gunner, I suppose.
Yeah, you can still knock Gunner out of the tournament.
It's a possibility, it's not a very likely one, but it's there, I suppose. Has to be there.
Yeah, I never know what happens in red.
We can also see Kylo beat Gunner. I'm not sure how likely that is. Like, it's, I suppose, on this showing slightly less likely than it is for me to beat him, but
Yeah.
it's like, if it does happen, then it makes things even more complicated. Or if
Yeah,
Kylo
we
beats
might still,
Deacon.
we might still get to see a few interesting matches there. Any word already on the Dabomstew versus Gunner match, for that matter?
The schedule, no. Gunner was a bit AWOL for the last couple of weeks, so... Well, since his Deacon match, I mean, he's been back for the last couple of days, so I imagine it'll get scheduled soon, but... Nothing on the calendar just yet. Of course, Kylo playing again tomorrow, but then... It's just Gunner's last 2 matches left after that.
Oh yeah. And
Kylo
what would
Deacon.
you like? What would you like to improve the most to going into that next match?
Need to try... Well, yeah, I tried some of the newer menus in this run and they did not pan out at all, so I just need to practice those a little bit so they work. Otherwise, I guess just general movement practice and Mount Moon Pallet Minute, get a bit more consistent, that'll be okay. And remember to nickname the Squirtle, that's a good one.
Yeah, definitely ready for an interesting match, because it's gonna matter a lot. It's gonna decide who moves on in the tournament. So who grabs that second place spot?
Yeah, not guaranteed, of course, but I guess it is quite likely at this point. We still got the 2 other Kylovich races, so don't count
Oh, he
them out.
still needs to play 2. All right.
Kylo's only played 1. I've played 2 and Deacon's played 2.
Alright, I
far.
thought it was his second match, but yeah,
No.
so it was his first one.
He's
And
playing
on the
again at
note-
roughly this time tomorrow.
And on the note of Kylo just finishing with a 2:06.36, losing him the match, but still a big GG to Kylo as well. Let's see if we can draw Kylo in here as well.
Hello, Kylo.
Yo.
Hey, Kylo. GG on the match.
Yo, well played, the bomb. Like, fuck that, holy shit.
I have mixed feelings on it as well, but I don't think things went anywhere near as wrong for me as they did for you, so commiserations and hope you get a much better showing in your next 2 races.
Yeah, well, like, the good thing is, my next race is tomorrow, so like, everything I did wrong today, I can do better tomorrow at least.
Yeah, you got a shot at beating Deacon. It might not be that likely, but it's a shot. For sure.
Yeah, like, just the amount of stuff that went wrong, because I just didn't focus on the game at all. Like, starting with the Nidoman, like, I totally knew that I had the potion still. I just didn't realize I had to move it to slot 2, of course.
Yeah, we saw a few minor things here and there on your end, but all in all, still a very well played match, Kylo.
Yeah, like, I haven't finished a run in like a year probably, so...
Yeah, so it's definitely a good startup for the next matches.
I honestly just don't know what happened at like Can's minute. Like I don't think I did it wrong. It just didn't work.
Yeah, we saw it. We hopped in a bit later because Fliss was casting first, but I think we entered right when Ken started. But I think you checked the Ken above the first Ken, but
Oh,
it's
is
the
it
one
not
on the left.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the one on the left.
Alright. Yeah, like my notes are from, let me check. September 2016, so not that up to date.
Yeah, well, all these little things, yeah, you just learn from them, and next time they will go better. So
Yeah, hopefully.
So yeah, with that, a massive congrats to both of our runners. Now we will be having a few more matches today. I believe the next one coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern Time or 8 p.m. Central European Time between Flutz and myself. And then about 2.5 hours later between Hasselbalch and Friskus, which is, I believe, the last 2 matches left in Group F. So both of those coming up tonight, right here on the Speed Gaming channel. So yeah, with that, you guys.
Your last race is Gunner, right?
Yeah, I mean, you've got two, well, you've got
Yeah,
at
I
least
saw
Decon
two.
first, but then also Gunner at some point.
Yeah, Gunner has to beat both of us still, and then I'm facing Decon tomorrow. So that's the
Well,
last group.
if you beat him and I lose to him, then we have a very interesting freeway tie going on. But
well, if
yeah.
PB decides, it's gonna be like, yeah.
Yeah, if it's time, then it's probably Gunner at this point, but oh well, we'll see.
Or D can just like get to 151.
Well, yeah, it depends if you beat Decon, then who knows what's going to happen, because that
We'll see.
throws everything back in the mix. But we'll see. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Anything can happen.
All
All right. So thank you, guys, for the race.
Good luck on the next few matches coming up. And yeah, my name's Cruel.
My name is Araya.
And enjoy the matches later on tonight and further in the week.
Yeah, see ya, guys.